Hey everybody, David G here, founder of the Internet Marketing Party, and I feel really privileged, honored, and super stoked to be bringing you our special guest speaker for the month of August. Not only is he extremely talented, extremely good looking, and extremely interesting, he's also been coming to the Internet Marketing Party for about 7 years now. He's a longtime Internet Marketing Party attendee. He drives in all the way from Fort Worth, not to be confused with Dallas. But why should you watch this presentation for the next couple of minutes? I'll tell you why. Because if you are in any way, shape, or form involved with Internet Marketing Party, that means you are either entrepreneurial, you have a business, you have a digital business, or you want to learn more about how to build a business. What I'll tell you about that is that 99% of the people that come to Internet Marketing Party, and this is going to hurt, are not entrepreneurs. They own a job or they own a business that isn't really something that can be sold yet. And Rob's going to share with you how to build something that has real value that will make it so that venture capitalists or investors will come banging on your door to buy your asset. Have you ever had anyone come and ask to buy your business? With that, I'm going to tell you a couple things about Rob. I like to call him the Renaissance man. He's one of these guys that there's hardly anything he hasn't done, from being a professional rodeo rider to running his own advertising agency to running his own digital marketing agency to being a true entrepreneur and starting businesses that get acquired to being a consultant to being an artist, a graphic designer, to being a rancher, to being an inventor, to helping other companies bring their inventions to market. The thing that impresses me most about Rob is his ability to just be a regular human in spite of being so talented. So Rob, I know you wanted to share a couple things about your background because your story is very unique, but we've got about 10 minutes. So tell me a couple things that I didn't mention about your background and why people should keep watching and come to the Internet Marketing Party.
Well, thanks, Dave. I'm very humbled and honored to be here. I actually came to the third Internet Marketing Party with Michael Lovich when you guys were still in your infantile stages, and I'm gonna deviate from your question because I really want to point out the fact that I have been, as you mentioned, in a lot of different industries. I came from a ranching background. I rodeoed professionally. After that life, I went into the traditional advertising world and then found the internet to be the future. So I bailed in both feet with it. And, I was ping-ponging around and not really fitting in too many places. Not a lot of rodeo cowboys are trying to do inventions and learn about the future. And not a lot of internet developers come from a Western background. Honestly, once I stepped in the Internet Marketing Party doors the first time back in 2008, it was like for the first time in my life, I had stepped into the right clothes. It was the first time in my life everything felt right. The people I talked to were brilliantly smart. Some of them just trying to get going. Some of them successful entrepreneurs. Some of them wildly successful. Common denominator was just like me. They didn't have pretense. They had no ego. They weren't watching their P's and Q's. They were more concerned with doing cool stuff and building cool things than protocol, than putting on airs, any of that stuff. So I just want to really emphasize the fact that I don't know if you know how impactful the Internet Marketing Party really was for me.
You commented on a couple of Facebook posts and things like that, and we've kind of mentioned it over lots and lots and lots of drinks. But to hear you publicly stated and on video, like in such a in-your-face kind of way, just has a different impact. So thank you. And
well, I did it to suck up to you. But the other reason is I know let's represent.
This is Rob's company. One of his companies.
I just wanted everybody to understand how important that event is. we all get lost up in the moment, and you just think it's sort of a networking thing, but that little event has affected a lot of people over the years. And so I want people to not take it lightly. Mostly what it's affected for me, you have to understand that, especially when I was coming back in 2008, I didn't really feel like I had a reason to come. I didn't think about making money on the internet. I thought about, I was using the internet to make money. We were selling, website development services. We were, in 2006, I started a company called WebBuzzer, and we were selling pay-per-click services to middle market companies, but I was selling those services to, body shop guys and electrical companies and regional local businesses that, they didn't even have an email or website or anything. So I didn't really consider the internet marketing industry as part of what I was doing. When I'd come down, I was just hanging out with cool people. And in fact, quite honestly, not shortly thereafter, I sold that company and was just consulting for private equity businesses that also weren't internet driven businesses. These were traditional energy companies, pest control, insurance, you name it. And I would utilize things that I'd learned through my association with you and with the crowd. And don't kid yourself, just my nature. I was deep diving into the internet marketing practices, and I was learning everything I could learn and then applying that to traditional business. But yeah, that's an important place, and I just wanted to point that out.
Well, man, thank you. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Yeah, and it's easy for me to take for granted how important Internet Marketing Party is and has been for so many people, because I think it's that forest for the trees thing, and reading the label from the inside the bottle is not always easy. So thanks, I appreciate that. So I'm sure there's people watching right now going, awesome story, I appreciate it, and what's in it for me? So
We all.
yeah. So we still have the right brainers and the big-hearted people watching. What's the meat? Can you give somebody a couple of actionable pieces or insights that can help them turn their job that they own into a real business that can be turned into an asset? And what are the components of that? Because I don't want to steal your thunder, and give people some insights as to what we're going to share at the actual party. And we're going to do something different at this party. It's not going to be like the regular presentations that you've seen for the last 8 years. Rob's given me a cool idea as to how to inspire you to take action, as opposed to just giving you a bunch of tactics.
Yeah, a lot of people that come on to your program and also speak, most everyone gets very tactical. And I can do some tactics. I actually have a few that I won't call them tactics. I'm going to call them observations.
Right.
And because I want to stay at a 10,000 foot level, and hopefully someone will nab something out of that air that they can apply to what they're doing. But I can only speak from my own perspective and say that I found most success in creating that hybrid model, which was, I never set out to have an internet marketing information product, even though I consulted for some of the biggest companies in the world. Me and a high-level executive actually wrote the original business strategy for XM satellite radio on bar napkins in Fort Worth, Texas. Wow. And he had those.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Those of you watching at home, this is normal with Rob. Oh, and by the way, I did this.
Well, when you're my age, you can pack a lot of shit in those years. But what I found most success in a hybrid model is actually deep diving into the tricks and techniques that the internet marketers have developed, funnel building and things like that, which those things have been around since advertising started. But I will say this, that the internet marketing crowd really, really puts a lot of effort and work into those fine details, and you can learn a shit ton of stuff. And then I took that information and I backed out to the other world who isn't that deep. And there's a lot of opportunity out there. Applying these methods to traditional businesses is a great way to make a shit ton of money. I get frustrated with people who they come into this world, they have skills, they have certain talents, and they immediately go to trying selling IM products. They try to, they learn 10 things and then they try to teach those and make money teaching those. And it's pretty rampant. I would love for them to step back and say, how can I use this? My dad is an electrician. My dad's not. My dad was a veterinarian, but my dad's an electrician. He's had a good solid business. It's kind of boring to me. However, I can use these techniques to grow this exponentially in a very smart way. That's another thing, is that this new world has allowed us to build larger businesses with a lot fewer headaches. The barrier to entry is down. And there's a lot of industries who haven't caught up to that yet. We applied those techniques to our animal healthcare company. We launched an animal healthcare company in 2011. We just got off the phone with a private equity group. Yep, full bucket. So that was my first all-in Robo's idea of how to build a business, was full bucket. And my two partners are veterinarians, and they're wonderful guys, and they're very intelligent. And I was lucky. But we took those practices. We created a very, very nimble company. We don't really own any assets except our computers. All of our employees are virtual. Our manufacturing is outsourced. Our fulfillment is outsourced. Our distribution channels are managed by independent contractors who are all tied back together. And we created a glue to hold everyone together as if we were a old traditional brick and mortar company. And the power of that gave us profitability that we could never do before, gave us nimbleness that we can break into new areas quickly. When I was consulting for Sony and Blockbuster and those companies, by the way, Blockbuster didn't go down until after they quit using me for a consultant. I've got a few quick pointers. We can go into these deeper at the party. But these are some of my observations at a higher level. First and foremost, the internet doesn't want you. There's a lot of people are misunderstanding because the internet is so open and there's so many things going on. They think it's just going to be easy to step in there, and do my thing, make my money, make my monies, go get my boats. But the internet really doesn't want you. No one wants you. No market wants you. You have to actually get in there and fight, and you actually have to get in there and work your fucking ass off.
That's a technical term.
It is in my world. The thing is, like, I looked at the internet like a big giant fun party that's going on. And first of all, they didn't want me in there. I had to break in. I had to bust my way in. Once I got in the party, I had to get in there and know people. So I had to figure out, who is it that I want to know at this party? I don't know anyone. So I'm going to work my way around. I'm going to learn, and like I said, I'd been doing PPC and internet development for several years before I came to the internet marketing party. So I've been in the internet space per se, but until I came there, I hadn't found my little niche. I hadn't found my group of partiers over in that corner that's, getting down on it underneath the strobe light. So once I found my people, you have to figure out a need. You have to figure out, how can I utilize either what I'm learning here to apply it over here, or what can I bring from out here into here, which is my point. When I first started, I took all that information that I'd learned in the internet world and I applied it to these businesses that I've launched since then.
Yeah.
Well, you and I have been talking over the last little while about me taking some of the stuff I've learned out there and bringing it into the internet world. Yeah. Bringing it into the internet marketing space and saying, hey guys, there is the formula for building multinational brands. Here are some techniques that have worked on the other side of that fence. So taking those and learning the solutions and applying them. And then the other observation is something that not a lot of people are doing right now. And that is, first and foremost, making something different, making it better. Everybody thinks they're better, but really making it better. Making something that serves people, making sure you serve your audience, and then developing a brand around something really special. Be that person who dresses different, stands out, is engaging. People want to come up and have a conversation. Think about those things at all times, and eventually you will have that world-class brand like Dollar Shave Club, who just sold for $1 billion cash. They actually used a process to get where they are.
And that's part of what you're going to share on the stage, yeah?
I'm going to try to, yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I know you've got a call coming up here pretty quick, and I want to make sure we hold people's attention. Make sure you're here on Thursday, August the 11th, for Rob's amazing presentation. It's going to be different than anything you've seen before on our stage, and it's his inspiration, and he's going to be helping us at Internet Marketing Party and all my other companies do what he's been doing with Full Bucket and some of the other companies he works with. So I'm really excited about that. It's one of the things I didn't say at the beginning is that Rob's been helping me, and that's one of the reasons I'm really proud, honored, and stoked to be putting you on stage and sharing you with the rest of the world.
Thanks.
So
now this is going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Come on out.
all right. See you there Thursday, August the 11th in Austin, Texas. Beautiful downtown Austin, Texas at the market, corner of 4th and Colorado. Doors open at 7. We'll be networking till about 8 o'clock. 8:15 is when Rob will take the stage and blow your mind with something new and different that we're going to be doing together. In the meantime, have a great, great rest of your day or evening or whatever time of the day you're watching this. Thank you so much. And any parting words, Rob?
Come on out.
All right. Cheers.